Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be making another daycare, now finally using the Growing Together pack. So it's going to be a full-size daycare meant for infants, toddlers, and actually has activities for the whole family to join in as well. I've been loving using the new pack that it's finally out and just trying to experiment with as many new things as possible. It's totally different making this daycare now that we have the pack compared to before. I think before I couldn't imagine what we would be doing in the game, so I was kind of winging it, but this time I was able to actually tailor it towards infant gameplay. Some of my favorite parts of this build are probably the nap room that's up front. I think it's really cute. I love the theme of like the starry night sky, having so much fun with that. And I also really love the like shared family room space. It's supposed to be a daycare, but of course, I think we all need a little bit of space for the rest of the family. So there's a tiny reception area and then some space for the family to sit as well. It was also very much so not intentional, but this build is kind of nostalgic for me too because I used my elementary school colors of blue and orange to decorate it. I think at a certain point I realized I was doing it and I just leaned in to thinking about how would I make a daycare out of my elementary school aesthetic, basically. So went for it. Unless I missed something, it's also my understanding that there aren't actual playable daycares in the game. So we're all gonna have to play pretend a little bit, like we love to do in The Sims. So even if it isn't really a playable lot in that way, this could be a really good place for a club meeting. Like you could have family members in a club and they could meet here together. I have to double check in game, but I hope you're able to include infants in clubs as members potentially. If not, scrap this entire idea. It will not work, but and playdates. I forgot playdates. I haven't even gotten the chance to use that feature in game yet, so let me know if this works for that. Because look, I can't be the only one overwhelmed by the new features, both in the new Growing Together pack and in the base game update. Oh my goodness, it's such chaos. I just thought that I had a nightmare family save file in my game until this update happened, and then I learned truly what chaos is. I had twins, followed by me saying, no, I still want more babies, like I'm sure someone does in the real world, and then got triplets. Triplet infants with the brand new update, not having any idea what I'm doing. I'll be honest with you right now, I'm happy to play with some of my other families that have an infant, just one, and I'm kind of just leaving that family alone for a few life stages, I think. But honestly, the infant update is great. It's super cute. I think having those infant quirks has been really interesting to see. When I was doing it with 3 different infants and all of their different quirks, let me tell you, a lot less fun. Triplets, not the way to go with infants. However, well, I guess if you'd like to see me suffer, feel free to leave a like or a comment down below and let me know that you want to see a Let's Play with 3 different infants, because I could make that happen. I'll suffer for the sake of content, that's fine. I'm okay with that. If you'd like to see more content from me in general, I'd love it if you would go down below and click the subscribe button. I'm a pretty new creator and I'm trying to create a little community of other simmers, and I would love to have you with us. And if you click this card up here, you can check out my playlist of all my speed builds and see the other things I've been up to in game. Now that I'm finishing off the nap room, which also includes a toddler bed, because we know that that can be a thing as well. You don't just need cribs in a daycare. Now we're moving on to definitely one of the most fun and vibrant parts of the build, which is the playroom in the back. I had so much fun with this. It's as vibrant as you could possibly make it, and it is so much fun. I was able to include one of my favorite kids' items, which is the play tent from Dream Home Decorator. It's kind of an odd one for that pack, I think, but it's perfect for this build. The colors matched up just right. It's also an item that kids of multiple ages can use. So, if I recall correctly, infants, toddlers, and kids can all use that play tent. That also makes it a super exciting item for this new update and the new pack, probably more specifically the new pack, but it just enables kids to play with one another on a similar item, which I feel like is kind of difficult prior to this update. So while I haven't spent enough hours in game to really see the impact yet, I can already tell that the memory system and the family dynamics will be a real literal game changer for The Sims 4. And this is exactly the kind of build where I could see memories being formed or siblings learning about dynamics with all of the things that are going on. And before I forget, I am legally obligated to tell you that this build is on the gallery and you can download it. So all of the information for my gallery ID and all the rest of that stuff is down in the description below. Over here, I decided to build a little reception area. It's completely not functional. It is just for the aesthetic look of it. I just kind of wanted a little bit of realism in here, that you would kind of come in, go over to the left, see reception, and that it would be right next to the multi-purpose family room space. I like it. I loved using those funny little cat and dog motivational posters on the back wall. I think those came with cats and dogs. It's just not something I would usually draw from, but I think it's pretty funny and cute. Also, even if it's a random one, it's always nice to have a computer in a community lot build. You never know when you need to, I don't know, pay your bills or do something for your career or something like that. So it's good to have on hand for gameplay. So for this next room, the family multi-purpose room, I tried to use a lot of the build by from Growing Together and focus more on that kind of furniture rather than more of the kids, infant items that obviously it's going to have more of. I did still want to carry through the aesthetic in this room, but it's kind of like a toned down rainbow happy space. I don't know. It's cute. It's not something I would normally do again, but I like how it turned out. There's also an arts and crafts room, this sunny space across the hall from the playroom. This is a space that has activity tables, as you can see here, for children, but it also has toys and an easel. So basically everything you need to build imagination, creativity, painting skill, friendship bracelet making even. So yeah, I had a lot of fun with this, and it's nice to again have a room where you can have multiple generations all working on the same stuff together at the same time, which I think is just so precious. Ugh, yeah, this room is so totally inspired by my elementary library. We had like summer room and winter room for reading rooms, so you could like really easily tell kids like, oh, go to this room or that room. You wouldn't have to be like left or right, though that would probably be a good call. I don't know. Anyway, I was definitely inspired by that sort of like a nature theme. So you'll see that kind of popping up throughout the whole build. Of course, there is this little bathroom that is honestly more focused on stuff for infants. There are a few potties there, and it's completely filled with a bunch of the toddler clutter. I was so excited about the diaper and like baby wipe clutter that I put in here. Just it adds that perfect kind of realism to the builds. That fold down changing table is also so great. I can completely see myself placing a few of those in bathrooms in community lots. But I'm pretty happy with my gameplay not having a bunch of mods or having a huge amount of CC. You know, I don't need that much detail. For me, The Sims is getting away from a lot of the complicated parts of life. I don't want to recreate all of them. Last but not least, we have out back this little garden area. I kind of imagined that it would be the kind of space you would see like a toddler running around, like playing in the dirt. I know that's not part of the game, but. And remember, if you'd like to download this build, you can get all of my EA ID information down in the description box. Thanks so much for watching this build, and I'll see you next time. Bye.